What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the MLB streets. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. We have 15 games in the MLB. We have 15 games in the NBA. I feel like both leagues are trying to kill me here at the moment, but it's the last one of the regular season that we're going to have for the NBA streets, and MLB, we're going to be talking about it for 6 months. So you're going to have plenty of time here to dissect and break down everything here in the MLB streets. And I'll be able to do that in the premium Discord. I'll be doing it on X. I'll have a little bit more time tomorrow. Well, actually, there's 30 games going on and breaking down everything, getting all the bets in and making sure that we can make some money here together. But I'm going to fly through today's program. I'm going to fly through the NBA one as well if you guys want to check that out. If you're interested, it is bleak in the NBA streets, but found a couple of spots that I kind of like, but again, we want to be very frugal here on the front end of the MLB season. We're accumulating sample size. It is very, very important that we do not get crazy with our bankrolls. Don't forget that baby told you, kid. Down off his shoulder. I said I wasn't going to waste time, so we're going to actually get ourselves flying. BetMGM, we'll talk about them later. Odd Shopper, you can sign up for that down below. That's good stuff as well. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. Tons of sports, tons of games. MLB, here we go. Let's get to the picks. All right, let's party. First game right off the bat. Rain out that we had. We had 2 games get suspended because of inclement weather. Mainly it was cold and blowing in and all the things, but Minnesota and Detroit are running it back. And wouldn't you know it, now we saw plus 105 on the under 6.5 in favorable hitting conditions. And now it's gone to plus 110 because, again, it is very recognizable how different the weather is between Thursday's projection and Friday's projection. In fact, looks almost like hitter friendly. We were talking blowing out 25 miles per hour. Now it's hard in Detroit to be hitting it out of that ballpark, but there's rain in the forecast. Humidity is up around 70% here in this spot. And then again, just much more favorable hitting conditions than what we had here. We still have the same 2 elite pitchers here. Otherwise, again, we've had a lot of pitchers have to switch and just change the profile of how I break it down. But Pablo Lopez talked about him yesterday. Tariq Skubal talked about him yesterday. They're both very freaking good. I'm going to make it a lean, though. Again, I don't have a ton of interest here in targeting these 2 pitchers. We have infinity baseball games. Don't force anything over the course of this MLB season. We have plenty of time. You're going to find good plays. There's tons of good plays on this 15 game or so. Under 6.5. Now a lean. Now that got voided from Thursday, not going to be on the card here for me from Friday. Next up, Pitt and Philly, and Bailey Falter. Sorry for my falsetto. It is what it is. But Bailey Falter going up on the mound against the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez on the other side. Christopher Sanchez, K-rate's been a little bit down. I don't want to put a frown on it. I'm not going to worry about it a little bit too much or anything of that nature. But gotta say, one thing that is very, very interesting to me is Bailey Falter taking on his former team here. He's wearing a Pirates uniform. It's kind of weird to look at, but he's a 6'4", 6'5", absolute twig of a human being, about 175 pounds. And there's been no strikeout stuff. 7.3% K rate thus far. Now, it is a Philadelphia Phillies team, and thus far, pretty limited sample against Southpaws, but they're striking out more than the average Bear, 25.6%. That's 5th highest in baseball, although with a 104 WRC+, I'm looking at a little bit of money here, a little bit of minus money to take the under of 3.5 Ks there, but I think it's worth a look. I'm hoping the number gets a little bit better. If you want to know if this ends up on the card, hit me up at Eric Lindquist over on X. I'll happy to let you know, but I think it's the best play from this one as it stands right now. San Francisco going into Tampa Bay, a spot you don't necessarily see all that much. Tampa Bay, no announced starter, so we're not even going to waste our time there. We don't have time to waste. Keaton Winn, he's on the mound. He hasn't been very good thus far. In 2023, we saw a pretty decent whip, 1.04 and 42 in the 3rd innings, but 4.30 expected ERA, 48% hard hit, and that is, friends, what I prioritize. So far, that's rolled in his 2 starts this season, 16.7% K rate, not good, not missing bats, 3.93 expected ERA, better than his 5.73 ERA, but giving up the hard hit, who should I be targeting here? Lots of guys. We could look at Randy Arozarena. We could be looking at a number of pieces, but I do think Jose Siri 2+ bases, when you start talking about Tropicana, generally not the best hitters park, that's for sure. So better for Keaton Winn or whomever takes the mound here for Tampa Bay. But I want to at least give Jose Siri a shout out. Siri, what's a good hitter? Ding. 50% hard hit percentage, 350 xWOBA, 14% walk rate, strikes out a ton, 38% K rate. But you should know by now, one of my favorite things that I don't think gets projected in as much as it should is somebody who strikes out a ton, Jose Siri. 38%. And then somebody who doesn't have a lot of strikeouts on the other side, we're talking sub 17% K rate, or we're going to be around 20% by the end of the season, best case scenario. Think that is a square peg, square hole type thing. Jose Siri, 2+ bases, going to be on my radar. It is a lean as it stands right now. Again, need to see the number because price, huge part of the equation, but looks pretty good right now. Kind of a 2-for-1 special down at old Kmart. Do people still have Kmart? I don't know. Those are wild days. I just remember like running around. Can I get this, Mom? Can I get that? I was annoying. I'm not annoying now, right? Milwaukee taking on Baltimore here, friends. Peralta, Wells. Interesting little breakdown on this one. Peralta, I feel like, has been suspended from every game for the last however long. Not suspended. He's had his games postponed. Better way of saying that, although Freddie Peralta, I don't think he's... No, he hasn't. Anyway, 245 XWOA, but 156 expected batting average, 35% K rate. Fastball Freddie up to his old tricks. He does have that 12.5% barrel percentage so far this season, but going back to some of his old numbers, we feel good. We feel good about Freddie Peralta being a good pitcher. Again, it's one of those things where all the telltale signs, they're back to saying that he's going to be a good pitcher. So we're not going to worry so much about that one, are we? No, we're not. But Baltimore, this is kind of an interesting one to me because you have Tyler Wells, and I talk a lot about like pitchers who pitch to their park. He is a righty, so he doesn't get that massive cavern in left field. I mean, he does, but lefties are going to pull it on him, and it's more favorable going down the right side than the left side where that huge fence is. But Tyler Wells, I think, is due for a little bit better regression than what he's had so far. So it hasn't been pretty by any means. The fastball velo right around 92.7 miles. You go to his 2023 numbers, it's actually up a tiny tick. So again, I don't know why he has this 6.52 expected ERA, but we have a 3-year sample size of him being a sub-4 expected ERA pitcher. So this is one of those things where I think you want to be attacking numbers that kind of overcompensate. Overcompensating. It's like the dudes who take their trucks and just zoom down 80 and go 85 miles per hour in a school zone. There. Overcompensating. Under 8 or 8.5. Again, I'm seeing this juiced up pretty high on 8.5. I'd be happy to sit at -110 under 8, even though, again, key number on those unders, not ideal to be sitting on 8 because if it's 4-4, you're screwed, and that is what it is. But 7 and 9, your most likely numbers to be sitting on here. I would be 7.5, probably a little bit... No, it's not going to be making the card there, but 8, we definitely like 8, assuming -110. And I'm going to assume you have Odd Shopper, but if you don't, you sign up at the link below. Again, then you can jump at the premium Discord, talk to me about your bets, talk to me about all the good things. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. Awesome stuff, friends. New low price. Check it out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. Oh, yeah, promo code Lindy gets you 20% off of it. That seems awesome. We're talking the best tools in the game. EA Sport. Oh, we don't have the rights to that. Expert picks, Discord, premium tools, all in one package. Promo code Lindy. That'd be $12 for your first week. Come hang out with me. The water is warm, or something like that. My friends, we moved to Colorado at Toronto, and Kevin Gausman has some alarming numbers so far. I don't really know what to make of it, other than we've seen a lot of top pitchers be hurt and have problems, and now Kevin Gausman, somebody's took it to the limit one more time. 29.4% barrel rate jumps out to me. Is Zoic Scoop not ideal? And in fact, this is a Colorado spot that he should be able to mow down. But with these numbers where they are, and with Ryan Feltner pitching the way he is, I think this is a spot that you just maybe plug your nose. Bet Colorado money line. I haven't done it yet. I'm assuming that we get this bet up a little bit north of what I'm looking at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to really take another look at this tomorrow. Ryan Feltner, 31.8% K rate. Awesome. 177 expected batting average. Awesome. And in fact, one game in Colorado, one game in Arizona. The Arizona one did not go very well, but the Tampa Bay Rays at home, 10 strikeouts against them. Very righty heavy lineup though, for whatever it's worth. Brandon Lau on the eye. He's getting an MRI again. I guess he's not on the IL but yet, but it is what it is. Anywho, pay very close attention, friends. Pay very close attention. Colorado money line potentially in play. That terrifies me. The Angels, the Red Sox. Gotta say, both pitchers in this one, both pitchers looking pretty decent in terms of strikeout stuff. Reed Detmer's 45.2% K rate thus far. I expect negative regression on that. Otherwise, he's going to be crazy good. And Tanner Houck, 37.8%. I expect negative regression on that. He does have the 48% hard hit percentage, but I got to say, both these lineups definitely getting after it a bull. I think that's one way to put it. 25% K rate for LA against righties here. Yeah, that's good for Tanner Houck. And the Boston lefties a little bit neutralized against one. Reed Detmers here in this spot. Think we might look at a double down 7+ Ks for both pitchers. This is a lean for me. Again, I've been projecting them both. It's hard because it's early season MLB and I don't know what's real and what's not, but their pitch mixes look awesome right now. So Detmers and Houck, I expect them to get Ks. So how about 7+ each? Does that seem fun? We'll call it a lean. Want to see those alternate lines on FanDuel yet again. Something I've been doing, putting those lean likes together for the people so that you can see, oh, Eric actually has a lot of interest in that K-prop. Eric has a lot of interest. Oh, that's interesting. Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating, Eric. Good stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But now we're going to talk hitting. And hitting's fun. Miami, I doubt they're going to have the roof open tomorrow, but we will take a look. Obviously, it would be a great improvement. Max Fried, I mean, that's good to have Max Fried back. If you're them, they kind of need him to. He needs to be very good for them this year. I mean, he pitched already once. It wasn't very good. And then he pitched again. And then it was really, really bad. And yeah, it's been bad. But we're not going to focus on Max Fried right now because I really don't want to go out of my way to bet against Miami at these kind of numbers because Miami's terrible. But like we see Atlanta there and we just saw whatever the hell we just occurred in the Mets. And am I making sense? Let's talk Trevor Rogers. We got a lefty on the mound. Pretty good one. 273 expected slugging. Good. But 18.4% K rate. No strikeouts to be had right now. And Marcell Ozuna, friends, is lofting at 13.4 degree launch angle, 53% hard hit, 621 expected slugging. Hi, hello, how are you? I expect him to be on the card to hit a home run based on his last couple of days of home run data. And now he will be going into Miami, park downgrade. And I think Marcell Ozuna is going to smash a ball very, very far into the midnight air. Plus, we get this Miami bullpen, which is not great, Bob. Not gray. No, they're not old. I need to slow down. Marcell Ozuna, 2 home run, lean/like, get better than plus 325. He's on the card. I expect it to be around that plus 300, plus 325 number. Very curious. Again, because I'm projecting him around plus 275. Good stuff. Pretty quick one, pretty easy. Kansas City heading in to take on the Mets. I am intrigued, friends. I am intrigued by Brandon Nimmo and some of the things that he's doing. We got Kansas City, Michael Waka. He's been good so far this season. Pretty wild. 31% K rate, 272 xWOBA. And then Luis Severino on the other side. 27% K rate thus far, but a 42.4% hard hit percentage. I'm not going to bet on Luis Severino. Let's be dead serious about this. I don't believe that he has massively improved in a ton of ways. In fact, I kind of believe the opposite, but I will say the top of this Mets lineup been performing well. We just saw him in Atlanta go completely. Don't forget that boy told you, kid. Yeah. Get it off your shoulder. But yeah, he got to take on Cincinnati and Milwaukee. I had to wait for that to load on Luis Severino. Pretty decent little matchups to start. Anywho, I'm definitely looking at Brandon Nimmo here. Pretty good stuff from him so far. I am very, very much a fan of his 5 load freaking sheet. 643 expected slugging, 53.6% hard hit percentage. As I was saying, 16-degree launch angle to go with it. I will look at the home run, although looking at historical home run numbers the last couple, just 2 weeks of baseball that we've had thus far, I don't think that's going to end up on the card. But Brandon Nimmo, 2+ bases. Shout out to a dude hitting balls very hard. Phrasing, Eric. Phrasing. There's always like one surprise spot that I'm like, is this real? Is this something that I'm actually getting? We're talking the Yankees. We're talking Cleveland. And so far this season, Cleveland been one of the surprise teams leading that AL Central, been pretty darn good. We're getting production everywhere there. And Clark Schmidt on the mound. I'm not a big fan of Clark Schmidt. Haven't been, kind of the disappointing guy from last season. 4.33 expected ERA. The Yankees, much was given to him and much was expected, and he just disappointed at every turn with a 4.64 ERA, 21.5 K rate. Not good. Not good at all. This season, 2 starts. Only 1 barrel, which is decent, but 4.15 expected ERA. He's back up to his old tricks, and his old tricks are not good tricks. But how about Carlos Carrasco? I don't believe that this is going to maintain because last year he was one of the worst starters in baseball. 36-year-old, 6.77 expected ERA, 15.8% K rate. But the guy had cancer 2 years previous of it. And probably the easiest guy to cheer for ever. I mean, I'm a Twins fan, and it still feels really good and really right to see Carlos Carrasco back in a Guardians uniform, or I guess he played for the former team name, but it is what it is. I know that they played the Oakland Athletics, and I know they played the Minnesota Twins, and I know that more than likely he's going to get rocked sooner rather than later. But I like the field. What I like the most is the Cleveland lineup and just the fact that they're not striking out a whole heck of a lot. And Clark Schmidt is not good. And maybe, just maybe, Carlos Carrasco. 2 years previous, he was a 4.08 expected ERA guy in over 2,400 pitches, whereas last season, almost 1,600, but maybe just a little time off. Maybe the ability to, have another year under his belt coming off of chemo, guys. Like, legitimately, crazy stuff. 2.48 expected ERA. That is really good stuff in the early going in this season. And if that K rate gets back north of 20, I think he could be an effective big league pitcher. There's no reason it shouldn't be. So friends, definitely Cleveland money line. It's a lean. It's a like. It's not a lock. Again, you could keep this off the card if you just absolutely are completely against the Yankees, and that's a scary lineup at the top. But then Cleveland money line, I like it. I have a half unit plus 120. I'm a little bit worried this number gets even better, and I just bet a stale number. But you know what? It is what it is. Give me the coin flip at plus 120 every single time. Next up, Cincinnati taking on Chicago here. Hit the like button too while we're at it, because that would be very nice of you. We've got the White Sox, one of the worst teams in baseball. I don't think that's surprising anybody by any means, right? Like we all knew they were going to be horrible. So there are some priors that we had coming into this season that are coming up. I mean, they have Chris flexing in his candy paint, rolling days on an 84 swing, tearing up the lane, tearing up the lane. Andrew Abbott has an 18.8% hard hit percentage, 311 expected slugging. We got to expect that K rate to come back up. He had a 26.1% K rate last season. Has more to do with the fact that if you have two matchups and one of them is the Mets, you're probably not going to have the strikeout rate that you're really looking for. Although I would have expected him to mow down some Phillies more than he did, considering he's a southpaw. And we just talked about the lefty strikeout rate for them. Yeah. Is what it is. How about Spencer Steer, though, friends, going up against Chris Flexen? That seems fun, doesn't it? Chris Flexen, 494 expected slugging, 10.6% K rate. So, not striking out anybody. Well, Spencer Steer doesn't strike out whatsoever. Spencer Steer is just bulls straight ahead, whatever. 55.6% hard hit percentage, 583 expected slugging. Fire him up for a homer. Yeah, we're going to go yard in Chicago. It's not ideal hitting conditions, but Spencer Steer doing so many good things right now. Friends, BetMGM, first bet safety net up to $1,500. Get bonus bets if your first bet loses. Again, take a nice big plus money dog there. Fire them up to $1,500 coming back in your pockets. If you bet 100, you'll get $100 back in bonus bets if that bet loses. 300, you'll get 300 back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So on and so forth, up to $1,500. What an amazing opportunity. And plus, BetMGM had a lot of the best numbers so far for K-Prop. So fire it up, friends, down at the link below. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Yeah, Texas, Houston, not a huge fan of betting this game. I am just going to be paying very close attention because I see London, I see JP France. He can't get you out with his underpants. What am I doing? Ding, dun, 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 dunning. That one's not going anywhere. It's still good. He's terrible at baseball. A 53.3% hard hit percentage thus far. Does have that strikeout stuff flying, though, right now. 26.4% K rate through 2 starts, but 19.4% previous season. Going to come down. I'd be shocked. Plus that hard hit, 53.3%. That's not what we're looking for, friends. That's not what we're looking for. These are not the things you're looking for. Oh, God. Houston minus 1.5. Yeah, we'll take the run line, maybe. But I can't believe this even projects out as the best one. We just saw Houston get their butts kicked in Kansas City. Is what it is. Jordan Alvarez starting to hit baseballs hard, so that's cool. That was always going to happen. Next game. Mr. Weeks. Yes, Jordan Wicks back in our lives. By the way, the guy who says that, Mr. Wick, he died. I just saw that. It's like a week ago I saw that. It's sad. I love John Wick movies and The Hotel Manager. Anyway, Jordan Wicks is on the mound. Seattle, they strike out a ton, like a lot. But they've been better against lefties here. Oh, I should just let you know, Bryce Miller on the mound. I'm not going to do anything with him. I'm still just waiting to watch. 27.7% K rate, 302 XWO, but don't really have to bet anything I don't want to, and I don't really want to go pick on him there. But Jordan Wicks, this is kind of a wild one. We're seeing it right around a 30.2% K rate through 2 starts. No way. He was 16.3% last season. He has no velo. He kind of goes sinker cutter. It's weird. But this is a Seattle team that even against lefties, I expect as we accumulate sample size, again, just 101 plate appearances, 22.8% K rate. That's 13th in baseball, straight at 100 WRC plus. Good pitcher's park, though, for him here. I think Jordan Wicks 6+ Ks in case there's something that I'm missing in this pitch mix. Again, the spin looks a tiny bit up, but like Jordan Wicks 6+ Ks. Curious to see where this line is. Should be advantageous. The hard hit should get reduced pitching up there in T-Mobile. 3 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we get to a like and then another like. So don't you worry, not just leaning on stuff here the rest of the way. St. Louis, Arizona, pretty fascinating pitching matchup just for the fact that Steven Matz is somebody that I don't like, but Brandon Pfaadt's been out of control good. And Steven Matz, I mean, this is kind of a number that we were expecting. 3.87 expected ERA last season, up to 4.63 expected ERA here. But we're getting a bit of a discount because it hasn't shown up in the box score. What do I mean by that? So far, the ERA, 1.74 ERA for Steven Matz. Pretty wild to see there because everything across the board doesn't look good to me. Just smoke and mirrors, friends. These are the kind of bets that I'm a big fan of at the beginning of an MLB season as we're starting to feel things out. As for Brandon Pfaadt, 27.1% K rate, 2% walk rate. 2? What do you mean only 2? That is from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We've had some good ones today. 3.29 expected ERAs, the 25-year-old. Very, very nice stuff. I like the velo. I like the chase rate. I like pretty much everything he's doing with that sweeper that's been integrated 26% of the time. 4-seamer's really good. I mean, Brandon Pfaadt was the promised one coming out of Reno, and here we are coming off of a nice postseason for him, that's for sure, after a pretty disappointing regular season to that point. I think Arizona -1.5 is a pretty decent play. I took it for a half unit. Join me, my friends. Nothing like 2 terrible baseball teams and taking it over, right? And cheering for offense. Yay! Woo! Oh, God. We got Jake Irvin. We got Paul Blackburn and Jake Irvin, 319 expected batting average, 50% hard hit, wild stuff. And then Paul Blackburn on the other side, 25.6% hard hit, but a 15% K rate going up against some lefty pop. Yeah, Paul Blackburn, I don't expect this to continue for long for you. So I see problems in his future. Plus, we're getting that key number over of 8. Again, 4-4 baseball games, getting that little tiny bit of that, well, carving that little piece out over 8. That always feels nice to know. Again, is that the most likely outcome here? No. But I'm saying that 4-4 takes it over the top every single time. And then you could basically write off it's key number for overs, friends. Over 8, we like it. We'll do math another day. I mean, I do math every day, but I'm just trying to explain it to you. We got one more game to go. San Diego, Los Angeles here as we head to the freaking weekend, baby. We've got ourselves the Dodgers with Yamamoto. Nice to see him on the mound here again. Always fun to watch. I don't think I want to go crazy with him here, though. Michael King on the other side. This is a pitcher I really, really like. He got stretched out into a starter with the Yankees and kind of went nicely. And now San Diego just is reaping all the benefits. That's the wedding singer. 5.18 expected ERA. That's not very exciting so far this season, but I think better times are coming for him. Pitching value's been good. Overall, the sweeper sinker, it's been okay. Nothing to write home about. The sinker, his primary pitch, needs to start getting down with its bad self. But Yamamoto, again, the jury's still out on him. Can give up some hard contact, but the strikeout stuff looks real. There's a reason the Dodgers threw money at him. But this is a San Diego team that's just not going to strike out a whole hell of a lot. 18.9% K rate against righties. So what are we doing here? Oh, we're leaning San Diego +1.5. Get the heck up out of here, friends. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely little slate that we have before us. 15 games in the MLB streets as well as the NBA streets. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you, producer Jacob. We'll see you guys next week. Until next time, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Friday.